first off, I'm going to be taking a look at Channel 3. I used a referral code, but I am kind of curious, like, what? So it gives me a unsigned in feed, which is kind of interesting. Oh, that's cool. Yep, log in and create an account. Yep. Games, highest rated. I wonder on this, because I feel like this is such a unchanging list. There's not really much of a reason for me to go there after the first time. This is still ranked by rating. Awards. It's from the Game Awards. Okay, so interesting. So including some of that. Discover games, learn more, gamify everything. Probably some copy and stuff to look at there. But before we jump into this, I'm going to create a whole new account. And so I'm going to make one for World Seekers. And then I'm going to do Jeff at World Seekers. .io. And this will be... Do I have to hide this or no? We'll see if it'll come up on stream. You guys will have access to this burner account. Shame on you. And then birthday. Whatever. All right. All right, so now I'm on my first page coming into this. Okay, so 15% off through Cyber Monday. What are your favorite games of all time? So nothing really very gamified. This will be rated really well. This, I think, is in some senses a little early. Here, I'll hide my little writing sprint indicator. This is a little bit early for a discount. I think this should be coming up in the feed later on. And then here we go. This is just where we start. What's your favorite game? I think this is an okay thing, so we're going to add World Seekers, Hexa Puzzle Saga, and Channel 3. And we are going to do Target. It's the best Channel 3 minigame. Okay, so let's just say these are our games. But yeah, what are my thoughts here? So not very gamified. I can also turn down my music if it's getting annoying. Not very gamified and very profile buildery. So I do wonder if, this is sort of setting up the causes, but I can't see the effects, right? And so I wonder if you're like, oh, if you added World Seekers to your favorite, these are your favorite creators that stream World Seekers. Or if you added Hexa Puzzle Saga to your favorites, these are your favorite Hexa Puzzleiers. And these are some example posts you'll see. I think there's a lot of opportunity here to show me some of the results, or, even making a big decision early on. Like, let's say, hey, do you like, it looks like you like racing games. Do you want to, be, instead of like the house like Hufflepuff or Ravenclaw, do you want to be in Racing Game Claw, where there's, you earn points the more racing games you play, and you contribute to that kind of community. Food for thought, but essentially what I would say that the onboarding definitely is light coming in, and I'll put like League of Legends. I'll do something more common. What's another thing I like? Mario Kart World. All right, next, suggested favorites. Okay, so we're really trying to say, I need more. I need more data. So we're using the game ratings as the basis for this person's profile, account, and everything. And I guess all their experiential automation, which is fine, but, definitely would be good, I think, both to see. This is giving me some valuable result. Like, I'm not seeing any of the value of what I'm doing right now, and it's getting very delayed out. We'll do none of these. Okay, Tears of the Kingdom. Clear Obscure, even though I haven't played it. All right, next. Nice. You have the good taste. The more you went on Channel 3, the better. Rate games to discover new favorites that you can care about. Okay, nothing really here. It would, again, be really good to have an example of what those new things that I'm like, okay, great. I just rated a bunch of games. What do I actually get out of it? This is a great piece of real estate to show that in. And Channel 3 is gamified. Exchange on Channel 3, gain XP, earn tickets, redeem for prizes. So, yep, it's a solid loop. I don't know if I need to know this at this point. I think this is important for, like, hey, this is what our vision is later on. But I kind of want to get to the value as fast as possible. And we're getting to the value pretty slowly. Update your bio. This is a Final Boss burner account. All right. Last thing, how'd you hear about Channel 3? So again, all this stuff is really beneficial to Channel 3 when I'm logging into my onboarding, but it's not showing me, the user, what my benefit is, what I'm earning. I'd love to be like, maybe there's like an initial like challenge question, like, try playing Target. Like, that's one of the coolest games on the platform. Try playing Target, and if you get your first game of Target right, you get a huge reward or some, or some sort of like, a way to accelerate my onboarding. Oh, you get 3 free tickets for putting in, you get a ticket every single favorite you add, and these tickets contribute straight to a GIF, or you open your first loot box. It has a GIF reaction, it has a tagline, and whatever else. Like, that level of reward, I think, needs to be pretty early in. So here we are. We're at my feed now. It's taking a little while to load. I would be keeping an eye on loading times. Feed us posts about games you love and content from people you follow. Cool. I don't know if that's necessarily needed. I could be wrong. I like that we start on the feed. Claim your daily XP. Come back tomorrow and keep it going. All right. Darth Smeagol, been crunching numbers the past couple of days. XP. So let's look at my first post. Interesting. Some notifications. So again, some of these are not necessarily about games that I've played especially. Thanksgiving, because I just put in my favorites. Oh, yay. We like World Seekers. That's my post of the day for my burner account. But yeah, so all that to say is I just put in my favorite games. I haven't seen I guess maybe this Channel 3 counts as my favorite game because I put it in. So yeah, maybe I accidentally kind of like, sandbagged that. But yeah, interesting. I'm going to like my own post. Yay. But yeah, okay, so then here I am. I'm on the main feed. There's nothing really telling me what else to do here. I do wonder if there should be inline quests. I think it's really good. I think it's really good that we have the leaderboard thing here. I think having like this quest, I wonder how many times this is getting clicked, because I feel like this quest, like, oh, someone responded this to a quest, do you want to answer it as well, is actually really impactful. It's, at least in my experience, I've done this a lot. So I wonder if one of these types of things where you're like, oh, it's a game I like, it's one of my favorites, and it's a quest that had that game as an answer, because that gets me towards the, like, those should, in my mind, feel very highly prioritized. One with high engagement, an action item, right? Like, I can both action on the post, and I can action by taking the quest myself. Though I can't do the recap, so that it would obviously have to be something more relevant to early life. But yeah. Okay, so, Wander the Lost, hello! Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's so kind. And yeah, hoping to make more content soon. I'm doing this is the team that does our leaderboards. Channel 3, they're super nice. And so I'm trying to give them some game design feedback and support. Yeah, if you put your leaderboard score in, they're super nice. But yeah, talking through their onboarding, because onboarding is the hardest thing and the thing that always is perfecting. And I do definitely owe you amazing people more content. So I'll get on that. Maybe we'll add a few events tonight after some of these other to-dos. Um, but yeah, I have some of the bug fixes you suggested, so those are all in. I just need to cut a new build, which is on me. Gotta out of the top of the leaderboards the first week. It's true. It's true. You get some sweet street cred for that. So there you go. You're already miles ahead. But yeah, so these are the guys that do our leaderboards, and if you're feeling brave, you can try to top them again. I don't know if I actually should check if there's a quest for World Seekers. So I'm gonna look at, if I'm a brand new user, I'll be looking at my bell first. Ray, welcome to Channel 3. Follow. You reviewed a bunch of games. Reaction unlocked. Channel 3 is the future. So yeah, I do wonder if again, like these types of unlocks could probably be more showcased, or at least in that initial onboarding, first time user experience. If someone fixed a bunch of bugs, well, thank you. It was really helpful. A number of them should already be in, and then I need to go through and add more content. I mean, the real big thing, I probably wanted to add a bunch more items and a bit more deck diversity, because there was a few balancing things. I still am probably a little while out from season 2, if that comes, but fingers crossed. How are you doing? So let me see. It's bumping, add a profile photo. Yep. Jump. Do I get a reward for it? Let's see. Add a profile photo. Let's just do World Seekers something. World Seekers. World Seekers. All right. Something happened. Good to go. Save. All right. So I see like these little tick boxes coming in. That's a pretty helpful. I feel like this is a pretty clear and good UI here. It's the first time I caught you online. Oh, well, I'm glad you came by. Thank you so much. It brings a lot of joy. I think that more than anything, I have a very strong feeling World Seekers may never be financially successful, but with all the kind feedback folks have given and just the amazing support, it has been an absolute blinding success in my mind, just because everyone's been so kind and so supportive, and it's meant the world. Brought ad-free just to help support it. Well, thank you. That means a lot, and yes, it does help. So yeah, I need to get some updates out and keep the old wheels turning. But I've learned so much about game design, and I hope all that stuff I learned in World Seekers. Hopefully, we can help support some of these other teams out that are doing really amazing things. I think if you should definitely keep an eye on Channel 3, not just for your World Seekers leaderboards, but because they're just an awesome group of people really trying to do something special with their platform. And so when you do, I will attempt to break the game again. Well, thank you. Yeah, I was still, for World Seekers, I was still trying to figure out some long-term things you can do, like, prestiging and stuff like that. But, we'll see. I don't think we found a really, really seamless approach quite yet. All right, so games. What games are you playing? I'm playing World Seekers, of course. Send it. All right. And can I add Hexapuzzle Saga? It's another one of my games. If you want to try one of my other games, Hexapuzzle Saga. These are my 2 currently live games right now. Let's see, everyone. Okay, so I went to the profile thing. Profile had its own stuff. A lot of Rocket Leaguers. Next thing I'm going to click on is quests. I see the dailies. Daily and daily quests. I don't know why those are 2 different categories. Daily and daily quests. Like, why are these 2 separate things? That's a little confusing to me. I feel like it should be like daily, weekly, featured, and these other categories are fine. Or like new. Do we have a weekly quest for a world? We do have weekly dungeon floors explored. Oh, well, thank you so much. And I hope, like, even if, World Seekers isn't necessarily a successful GPS game, I hope some other people making GPS games that have more funding than I do, take some of the ideas. I can't hear you, ad. Oh, it's all good. World Seekers Dungeons and Explorers, the highest count for the World Seeker stat. You can pull this from your Seeker's logbook. Your verified email to post, chat, and comment. Oof. That's a good reward, though. We'll verify. Send verification email. It should be here soon. Oops. Oh, welcome back. But yeah, the weekly quests. Yeah, I'm not sure about theirs, but I was also saying, yeah, definitely check out Channel 3. It is a game and a very creative and fun game in its own right. I would definitely encourage giving them a look. Oh yeah, no worries. Oh god, I will double check on our weekly quests. So here am I, from my high horse talking about weekly quests, while I didn't even I didn't even get ours working in our game. That's the way it goes. It's the circle of life. I was going to do the weekly dungeons. Nice. Well, feel free to jump in on the quest. Yeah, you got me set up on Channel 3. They are super cool. Yeah, they're awesome. And yeah, I was just saying with the GPS stuff. Even if World Seekers, I hope I hope it does well and continues to grow and find a good audience. But even if it's some other GPS game that, I hope folks just use our ideas, as silly as that sounds, because even if they have more funding or whatever, because it's always awesome to see clubs. I still don't really even know what this one. You aren't in any clubs. Join one. 3D printing's cool. Oh, I kind of wanted to just select a bunch, but I guess I can join and then I go back to clubs. Let's see. Where was the literature one? Fantasy Quest. All right. Oh, the game's made up and the points don't matter. I don't know exactly what that means. Looks like you can have quests within a club. I'm just kind of going through and almost relearning some of this. But yeah, if I was going through, I would say, hey, okay, I've liked a few games. I want to see some interesting content on my feed, right? Because that's the first goal I have, is I want interesting content on my feed. And the things that I feel like are missing are both the interesting content I've seen on Channel 3 are like these really clever mini games, the ways to answer quests and engage in that level, and then just getting to know some of the community and some of the awesome creators that are doing cool stuff on Channel 3. I do love Sue London anyways. They are the best. They are the best. And so what I would probably suggest to the Channel 3 dev team is to say, hey, look, when I'm early on, what's the most engaging thing? What gets the highest click-throughs, engagements, whatever? Like, find your best posts ever, even if they're a little bit dated, and make sure that these are here, because to some degree, it's still driving me. Games are released on this day and these types of things, but I'm finding that I feel like it's like in games. I feel like you want to make an interesting choice early on. You want to have some sort of interesting decision to make. And I feel like something like this, like the quests give me that, right? If it's like, okay, well, are you making any purchases to kick off Black Friday? I want to get a Switch too. Woo! That, like something like this, it's a really, really simple way for me to put something in and then get something back out. Essentially make a decision, put something that I'm thinking in. I think that's really valuable to have super, super early on. Likewise, do you ever see Drew Carey's Improvaganza? Oh my gosh, who's done it? Who's line in Vegas? No, that sounds amazing though. But look at me, it looks like I've ascended. That's fun. But yeah, so this is essentially what I was talking to the Channel 3 people about. Is there's all these various activities you do in Channel 3. There's like mini games, social engagement, do the discovery, the XP, but I think they should add a few other ones as well as like some longer term things. Those generate modifiers, and then those are spent and used on rewards. And so like this is kind of their core loop right now, and I think the things they're doing well are kind of really social engagement, game activities, their generated results, or their generated XP, and then the spending sources is in collectibles. And so I do wonder, especially as they look towards, hey, how did we make this more into a social media game instead of just social media? I think these are going to be some of the questions, or at least some of the areas that they should at least have an answer to. Whether or not, even if the answer is we're not doing that right now, they should at least, hopefully have thought about it and have a good reason for why they're not doing, why they're saying, hey, we're kind of not going to tick this box at this point in our current flow. But overall, yeah, I think as I look at the onboarding, what are my thoughts? The feedback from the initial first-time user experience walkthrough is rough. I think the fact that it's the games are very central to Channel 3, which is good to know. Like, what's your favorite game? Tell me what you're playing right now. That's a really good thing. But I would also bring the results in earlier. So saying, hey, if you said you liked Hexapuzzle Saga, here is a preview of the last 3 posts of Hexapuzzle Saga, or the last 3 quests that had Hexapuzzle Saga as their answer, or last 3 quest posts. I think that would be really, really wise to have on that thing. The more engagement you can get people to drive to others is the most valuable thing. Yes. And similar thing, like where, hey, if someone's doing a stream, if there's something live, like I know Channel 3 plugs into Twitch and these types of things, but I would love to be able to say, this awesome Channel 3 member is live right now, or having a YouTube thing right now, or some sort of, there's like a jillion platforms, but, kind of the inverted restream to say, hey, there's something really relevant, really timely up at the top of my feed when I first get in it, and it's something that's important. So rewarding. This is the best thing we've found out. Yes, exactly. Yeah, and so it's been fun. I mean, it's been a blast, collaborating. I mean, I think more than anything, it's just been such a great journey of connecting with other creative people in gaming, because I think everybody in gaming, at some level is just trying to bring joy to the world, and it's such a great mission. And this team is doing it through gamified social media, or trying to do it through going on walks, and I think that's been a huge just blessing is the more gaming stuff I've done, the more the community around it is really, really special. So here's the all filter. It's a me. Interesting. I guess I can double click on that and do it. Yeah. No Man's Sky is pretty amazing. Man, that team at Hello Games, good for them, dude. They had such a journey. But yeah, so those are my kind of initial thoughts on Channel 3. I will go ahead and jump over to a VR project I'm working on. I know, this is the problem with having so many different projects. But yeah, feel free, if you need to run, don't worry if you're just stopping by. But yeah, I'll wrap this video of my kind of Channel 3 onboarding experience. And then I shall jump into XP 1.7K. Where are my tickets? Does it not even show me prize counter? I have 1 ticket. Oh man, there should be like a cheap 1 ticket thing. I feel like for new onboarding, like again, this is another piece of feedback I would say is like there should always be for something I can get for 1 regular ticket, even if it's something really simple and not very engaging. The fact that this is kind of one of your big reward loops, right? Like, you're going from, social engagement, gaining XP, getting a reward. Like the fact that is already so spaced out, I've, been in for 20 minutes. I've been messing around for 20 minutes and obviously talking some of the time. But the fact that I can't go through and actually, get to that reward phase of the loop is a little bit concerning. And I would wonder too, because Wanderer of the Lost, you should, if you feel inclined, you should definitely feel like it's okay to send your feedback to the C3 team as well, because I think they're going to have very similar questions. But yeah, I feel like the onboarding doesn't necessarily reflect the goals of the loop, right? Which is like, hey, what's the loop? And I think right now it's game, or it's social engagement, probably first over game activities. Social engagement leads to XP, which leads to rewards, and like that's it. And then it goes, do more social engagement to get more rewards, and that gives you like status, social status. But I do think that there's quite a bit of other generative activity opportunities. I feel like there's maybe potentially different things, different resources. I think this is like activities. That's probably a more apt description there. And then spending. Interesting. But anyways, thank you to the Channel 3 team for reaching out and asking me to take a look. I hope this is helpful. But yeah, I mean, I think the themes is bringing the reward from the abstract. If you have things like that are special, like events, exactly. I actually should look at their events and see if there's anything that's like relevant to me. That was a challenge, though. I didn't find anything like that I could participate in without jumping on a Zoom call. And I know that sounds very antisocial, but I wonder if there was just like a little mini game that you could play at the event level that was like, hey, this is the upcoming like roll a dice event or pick a card and get the highest card event. Something really silly and dumb that I could because with so many of these things on web, you have to just have a one-click engagement. When people will try and more actively earn tickets, yes. So you have them when they need it, and it makes people driven to do more when you have events going. That's a really great idea. Or season of the, party night, because I think quests and events are a little bit of a blurred boundary in terms of what each of those entails. There's seasons. Yeah, it's a bit difficult to decipher, I would say. I can have a duel. How do I set up a duel with World Seekers? I'm going to do Final Boss. I want to duel Final Boss in World Seekers. Match type, 1 game. Get the convo started. I want to get more dungeons this week than you. Send it. Alright. I'm gonna win. Very interesting. I mean, there's so many interesting mechanics, but I do think that the fact that events don't seem to have an asynchronous or a simple option makes, and especially not one that's up early. Like maybe there's one way down here in this other area. But these seem to be much more like time and place events rather than, but then like seasons. Oh, matches, yeah. Challenge. I got a challenge match. That's awesome. Like, this is really cool. I wonder, yeah, that seems like a huge feature that's been built, but I just didn't know existed, and it could probably tie into stats and do a lot of things. That's super fascinating. Yeah, the clubs. Where's the writing? The book club. Video game book club. I like books. That caster curses are real. True. We gotta have a quest to read The Distributor. That's my novel. It's got all the things. That's cool. Video game book club. I do again. I mean, I've mentioned this to the Channel 3 folks. I wonder if that Channel 3 can eventually encompass a little bit more of a range of entertainment. But you got to start. You got to start with a focused product strategy. So I understand that. Interesting. For the series you love, I do love those. I mean, I'm kind of surprised at how well it locks in to some of the, like, hey, if I favored like 5 games. If I've got those 5 in, and 2 of them are mine, which I know like probably don't have very good signals. But from there, it's been pretty good at extrapolating things out. I think like something like a Thanksgiving 2025 post with a response possible is really really critical early on in the feed. I think some of the feed optimization, um, again, matters a lot, especially in your first time. Like it's like the first time someone scrolls a feed, they're just asking, is this going to give me information I care about or not? And if the answer is no, it's going to be very difficult for that person to re-engage. Hello, random person on TikTok. Welcome. We got Xbox Salva, and I will check it out. Oh my gosh! Well, thank you so much for checking it out, and have a great night. And yeah, thanks for popping in. Get some R&R. Hexapod Saga, very simple game, but it was again great learning experience. And if it brings a smile, that's the goal. If it just brings a smile, that's all. That's all I'm too worried about. Yeah, I got an XP from a follow. Anyways, I'm going to jump over to the next project I'm working on, which is going to be a Unity project. And there might be a bit more challenge getting all the visuals set up because it's a little complicated. But yes, I hope this was helpful for the Channel 3 team. We'll talk further, I'm sure. Feel free to just, give me a call and I'll discuss in more detail as needed. Talk soon. Alrighty, did I click stop recording? No.